At 84 years old, Cliff Richard has managed to do what so few celebrities and even fewer global icons have achieved. He has continued to astonish the world, not merely with his long-standing musical legacy, but with a physical presence and energetic lifestyle that defy the very concept of aging, leaving fans genuinely gasping when they see him today. The Cliff Richard of 2025 is not some faded relic of rock and roll's golden years. He is an active, stylish, spirited man whose vitality radiates in ways that often seem surreal. Born in 1940 and having risen to fame by the end of the 1950s, Cliff was Britain's first genuine rock and roll star before the Beatles ever took the world by storm, and his early success with songs like Living Doll and Summer Holiday positioned him as the face of youth, freedom, and romance during a time when post-war Britain was desperately craving joy. Yet his ability to evolve with the times from pop to gospel, disco to ballads meant that he never became a dated icon. His career is a story of reinvention and resilience, and that same reinvention is visible today as he stands in front of cameras, audiences, and even his own mirror with a demeanor and presence that is, quite simply, unbelievable for someone of his age. And while many wonder how he looks decades younger than his peers, Cliff attributes his youthful energy to clean living, a deep spiritual life rooted in his devout Christianity, and a refusal to let negativity dictate his path. For decades, he avoided the drugs and excesses that consumed so many of his contemporaries. Instead, Cliff chose tennis over taverns, scripture over scandal, and health over hedonism. His discipline is legendary among those close to him, and his love of life has remained undiminished even through deeply painful times. One such time was the 2014 false allegation that brought police and media to his doorstep in a brutal and very public episode that tested his emotional limits. Though never arrested or charged, the incident haunted him and led to a fierce battle for justice against the BBC for their role in the unnecessary spectacle. Emerging victorious in the courts and reclaiming his dignity, Cliff showed the world that inner strength is as important as public image. That same strength is what now powers his latest appearances. Just recently, when he stepped out for a televised special and charity auction in London, viewers took to social media in droves, expressing disbelief at how youthful and vibrant Cliff looked. Clad in a well-tailored blazer with glowing skin and a confident posture, he joked with the host and sang a short acoustic version of one of his classics, leaving the audience breathless not only from nostalgia but from admiration. The camera doesn't lie, and yet in Cliff's case, it almost seems to. Has he had cosmetic help? Perhaps. But the more important truth is that Cliff has lived a life of balance, avoiding bitterness, embracing gratitude, and continuing to serve both fans and causes he believes in. His recent projects include the re-release of classic albums, a Netflix documentary that highlights his 6-decade career, and charity work through his foundation, which focuses on children's education and music access across the Commonwealth. He still writes music. He still speaks to fans. He still inspires. And above all, he still radiates that magic that made him a star in the first place. As he often says in interviews, it's not about how long you live, it's about how well you live, and judging by the gasps, applause, and stunned reactions of those who see him in 2025, Cliff Richard is living incredibly well indeed. At 84, he's not a shadow of his former self, he's the spotlight itself, illuminating a path of grace, wellness, and undiminished stardom. The man who once sang of youthful summers continues to bask in a kind of eternal sunshine, reminding us all that age is just a number, but charisma, class, and courage are timeless.
Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon.